So I'm headed out to the San Fernando Valley right now. I'm not really expecting too many people to watch this video. I'm kind of doing this more for me. But if you're watching this and you end up kind of liking it, then, well, that's great, and thanks for watching. I grew up in the valley, first 25 years of my life or so, and any chance I get, I head back out to the valley and I cruise around with my wife and son, and I tell them a bunch of stories that they've heard a million times. So my wife told me, hey, you should make a video of your valley tour. This video is not just going to be about my childhood, my life growing up in the valley, although I am going to be pointing out some of that stuff, but I'm also going to be pointing out just landmarks, just interesting stuff in the valley, stuff that was filmed there, just whatever I see along the way. So let's go see what we can find. So we're starting here in the east end of the valley, so far east that it's almost not the valley, but it is. This is North Hollywood. This is where I spent probably the first 6 or 7 years of my life. This little plaza right here we actually used to go to a lot. Back in the day it was a Builder's Emporium and a Gemco. We probably mostly went there for the Builder's Emporium. But this stretch of road that we're on right now, this is Sherman Way and Coldwater, and this stretch of road right here is where Michael J. Fox surfs on top of the van in Teen Wolf. And that Jack in the Box over there, he goes by that Jack in the Box multiple times in Teen Wolf. Oh, this Kmart right here, I actually remember coming here with my dad. I have a very distinct memory of coming here with him. I don't know what he had to buy, but I convinced him to buy me a mask truck. And then I remember him saying, okay, hurry up, grab it. We got to get home. Soap's about to start. But yeah, looks like this Kmart is done with. All right, this house coming up on the right, this was my childhood home. Like I said, first 6 or 7 years. There didn't used to be a sidewalk there. The fence used to actually come all the way out to the street, and we had a little doughboy pool in the front, and spent a lot of time in that pool in the summer. That's actually where I learned about ice cream trucks. I remember being in the pool and hearing the ice cream truck song and asking my dad, what's that? And he explained it to me and my brother, and we spent the rest of the summer buying Garbage Pail Kids off that ice cream truck and opening them right here in the driveway, and a lot of time riding my bike in this driveway. And my next door neighbor here, his name was Count Yogi. He used to tell us all these stories about what an amazing golfer he was and all the people he knew, and we just thought he was senile. And then one day I decided to Google him, and turns out he was not senile. You guys should Google him, Count Yogi. This was where I learned to ride a bike with no training wheels. It looked a little different back then. Yeah, it was a little nicer. Somewhere here at this intersection, Strathern and Laurel Canyon, I think it was right here, was a really cool 80s video store called Dial-A-Tape. And we visited that store 2 or 3 times a week. And I actually have a very distinct memory of seeing the Purple Rain standee in this video store for the first time and staring at it and just thinking it was awesome. Roscoe and Laurel Canyon. This was our little shopping center right here. Pull in really quick, show you a couple of things. So this is the Ralph's we used to come shopping at when I lived in North Hollywood. That's the Supercuts I used to get my hair cut at when I was a little kid. And that's the Chuck E. Cheese that I used to go to. But that's also the Chuck E. Cheese from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. This is where the drag queens steal their car, which would have been parked right over here. And then right next to the Chuck E. Cheese, this Kohl's, this was Mervyn's. Everybody remember Mervyn's? There's my elementary school. A lot of memories on this yard right here. So I have a very distinct memory of this liquor store right here. Coming to this liquor store, looking for Garbage Pail Kids. when Series 4 came out. And I remember driving around with my mom everywhere trying to find Series 4. They were sold out. And I remember going to that liquor store and finding like the last few packs. I don't know how I remember these things. Oh, and if I had $1 for every time I drove past this guy as a kid. He doesn't have the tires in his hand anymore. And then right over here, this CVS, that was a warehouse. Actually, I remember going into that warehouse with my dad as a kid, and he bought the 1960s TV theme song cassette tapes, and then we drove around listening to those. I thought they were really cool, and I still own those cassette tapes, the very ones that he bought from this warehouse. Van Nuys Airport, 3rd grade, took a field trip here. Strange field trip. Right here used to be a baseball card store called World Series, and then it became Soul Music. And I used to live right around the corner here. I remember going into Soul Music. I was probably, I don't know, 19 years old or something. And I went in there and asked them how much piano lessons were, and they laughed at me. So that was great. All right, we're in Reseda now. This is where I spent the majority of my life in the valley. I mostly grew up in Reseda. A lot of stuff to show you guys here. We're gonna start right here on the right. There's a lot of stuff. I'm gonna pull into this shopping center. All right, first thing in this shopping center, this John's Market used to be a Vons, and it closed down for a while, and while it was closed down, they filmed the Gwen Stefani Holla Back Girl video here. Me and my wife watched them film some of it. We were driving by, we noticed, you know, commotion going on, so we stopped to see what they were filming, and that yellow Impala was parked right out here in front with some of the Harajuku girls hanging around it, and we watched for a little while. We never really did figure out what they were filming, and then a couple months later we saw the video. And then this church next door, I went to a carnival at this church with my Aunt Lucy, and I rode the Sizzler. But that's not what's important here. This church was featured in the movie Boogie Nights. Actually, a lot of the movie Boogie Nights was filmed right here in this intersection, in this shopping center and across the street. So if we head down here to the other end of the parking lot, this Miss Donuts, this was in Boogie Nights also. Rocket, aka Don Cheadle, goes into this Miss Donuts for that really strange scene.
Oh, is this a? Did you do this for the Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, give me 2 of those sprinkly Christmas things.
He parks right there in front of the window. Right across from Miss Donuts, the Magnolia Science Academy. In the 90s, this was a indoor swap meet, and I remember making my dad bring me here because there was there was an airbrushing booth, and I wanted to get a pair of airbrushed overalls. I thought I was going to be so awesome. I thought I was the coolest kid, and really I was just a really big dork. Things haven't changed. All right, this Walgreens at the corner of Canby and Sherman Way. This used to be the Sherman Square roller rink. This was an extremely popular roller rink. Opened up in the 70s. I believe it closed in 2000. And on Monday nights throughout the 70s and the 80s was celebrity night. Anybody that was anybody in Hollywood came here on Monday nights to go roller skating. It was an exclusive roller skating club. Cher was really famous for throwing skate parties here. Jack Nicholson used to come here. Really anybody that was anybody in Hollywood was coming to the Sherman Square roller rink. Right across from the Sherman Square roller rink was this building. In the 50s it was a Save on Drugs, but then in 1980 it became the Chuck Landis Country Club. Started out as a country and western club, hence the name, but then it turned into a full rock venue. Everybody played here. Tons of awesome punk rock shows in the 80s. Circle Jerks, Bad Religion, the Ramones played here. Prince did a private concert here. MTV held a New Year's Eve special here. Metallica played here. Guns N' Roses. A bunch of live albums were recorded here. So many things happened at the Reseda Country Club. The country club closed in the year 2000 and it became a Spanish church. And that's what it's been ever since. This is the legendary Reseda Movie Theater, opened in 1948 and closed in 1988. To be honest, I thought it closed a lot earlier than that. I don't remember this theater ever being open my entire life, but I guess it's just been boarded up so long that that's all I can remember. Every few years someone comes along and says that they're going to renovate and reopen the theater, but nothing ever changes. It's been boarded up like this my entire life. Even right now they're saying that they're going to reopen it, but nothing's changed. So we'll see. It's good just to see that it's still standing. And this is another building that was featured in Boogie Nights. Right next door to the Reseda Theater is Tip Top TV. That's another business that I remember being there my entire life. Now, something happened here in the early 90s. A really sad story. A 13-year-old kid was trying to steal a TV from this building. He broke the glass right there in front, and when he reached through to grab the TV, some of the glass from the top of the window fell down, cut his neck, and he ended up dying. But yeah, really sad story. Good to see that the building's still here. It's got a sign on the window that says not open to the public, so I guess they're not in business anymore, but again, it's just good to see the sign and see the building still there. Right here across from the Reseda Movie Theater, somewhere right here, there was a, when I was a kid, there was a punk rock hair salon, and I remember driving by and seeing people in there getting, you know, green, blue mohawks and just cracking up, making fun of them with my parents, thinking it was the silliest thing. And then look at what ended up happening to me. Not a lot has changed here in Reseda. All these pawn shops and everything, these have all been here ever since I was a little kid. All of this over here is exactly the same. This place right here, this used to be called Babytown, and Arthur 2 was filmed in there. Right here, this used to be Record Trader. This was one of my favorite record stores to come to. Came here probably at least once a week and just flipped through old records and CDs. Loved this place. Oh, what do we have here? Very nice. Alright, so I think I'm gonna have to cut this video into 2, maybe 3 parts. There's just way too much to show you guys. So that's gonna do it for today. I'll be back soon with part 2. Thanks for watching.